Olympus. They're a Japanese camera company, but this little device is not a camera. The buttons here give it away, with record, stop and play. This is a tiny recorder. Here is the Pearlcorder L400. It turns out Olympus also made dictation machines, and this is one of the more interesting ones. This is the second smallest microcassette recorder ever made, and it won 2 design awards. This is a very deluxe unit. It seems to have everything built in. There's a built-in microphone and built-in speaker. It runs on a single AAA battery. And most impressive of all for me is the feather touch controls. This has got a fully self-actuated mechanism. It even has auto reverse. This is a very rare feature to have in a microcassette recorder. Ejecting the tape, and the example I have here has an Olympus branded tape in it as well. I wonder if this is the tape that came with the unit. I really want to show this off in a quick video, so let's try this now with a battery. During my initial tests here, I found it's just clicking back and forth and not really playing. And then just as I started to think this could be faulty and maybe I need to fix it, it just started working on camera. Then as I'm listening to the tape, I hear, and I think that's actually my voice. I've had this little thing for a while and I've never really done anything with it. But I guess I must have tested it out when I first got it and I've just completely forgotten. So no, this is not going to be a repair video, as I briefly thought might have been the case. However, I am still keen to take this apart. So yes, it's time we had a peek inside. Taking out the screws, and the first 3 I've taken out are all different lengths. I'm going to have to be really careful when laying them out so they can go back in their exact spots. The metal front comes off, and did I mention this thing is all metal? Feels really nice. And then bits start to fall out. Okay, that's one of the buttons. I'm going to have to carefully lay all these out. Okay, 3 more screws, and now I can take the back off. This is obviously a very high-end premium product. It looks like Olympus were using their experience with building cameras in the internal design of this unit. Okay, there's 2 more internal screws here. I'm going to take these out. I'm really trying to take this apart, and that black plastic feels like the next part that should come off. But I just can't find any screws or any clips, and it's starting to feel like I could break this. Unfortunately, there's no service manual that I could find for this model. In fact, there's not even a user manual online, and I couldn't find any images of anyone online having taken this model apart. Since I really don't want to break this, I'm not going to push it any further. I'm really glad I didn't actually have to fix this. But have a look at that amazing mechanism. There's 2 audio heads in there on each side of the pinch roller. This is for the auto reverse function. What an amazing device. Well, since the covers are off, I think this is a good moment to test the mechanism. And I'll quickly test it with the tape as well. I think I've gone as far as I can, so I'm going to reassemble. And every time I see a microcassette recorder, especially a good one, it reminds me of that scene in War Games where David Lightman is able to escape from that room by using a microcassette recorder to record the guard's door code and then play that back into the mechanism to open the door and sneak out. I've talked about this connection before, but that was in a really old video, so it's nice to revisit it now. I'll just finish up by doing a final test recording, and that's it for this video on the Olympus Pearlcorder L400.
When he gets all 10, he'll launch the missiles. Well, can't they get in and stop it?
There's no way you can win that game.
I know that. It doesn't. It hasn't learned. Is Arnold going to make it play itself?
Yes, number of players 0.